Hello, everybody. My name is RODGON. I am an artist. I'm a designer. I'm a teacher. And today I get to teach you guys some cool stuff. I get to teach you guys how to draw some stuff. Yeah! So, if you guys are joining us today, we have a little bit of a special treat before we start our new page of our sketchbook. We are going to do a little sketchbook tour. Our sketchbook tour will begin in a second, and I'm going to have to adjust my camera to be able to actually get this view. So give me a second. The sketchbook is much bigger. I will not be taking any live requests. I don't really care about hanging out with you guys in that sense. I'm sorry, I just don't. Most of the time, it's people that are annoying and they just go like, look at me, let's play a game. And then it's just so fucking annoying. So we don't do that. All right, you guys ready? You guys ready? So we started this whole book, and this one's an Artica sketchbook. If you guys are interested in getting that same sketchbook, it's an Artica sketchbook. We decided that we were going to do posing for most of the sketchbook. And the whole concept was so that we could improve the way that we drew our posing. So we started off strong. We started off with the whole idea of simplification and trying to get to that point as quickly as possible from nothing. So how do you do that? You start from a sphere. You add arms to a sphere. You arm a face to the sphere. You start adding different sections to the little sphere. Then you progress to adding 3 sections instead of 2 sections. And then you start learning anatomy in the form of a rib cage, collarbone, and hip bones. And then from there, you play around with the proportions. And then after that, you learn little specifications of where the muscles land. And then you go into stylization. That is literally the process that you need to take if you want to get better at learning how to draw bodies. Any of these stages is fine. This would be roughly around this stage. This would be more along the lines of this stage. I know it doesn't seem like it, but this is way easier to draw than this. Like, this is infinitely easier to draw than this. Because of the amount of muscles that you need to have is more anatomy based. So then we started pushing the boundaries. We started pushing a little bit and seeing where we were breaking our knowledge, where we didn't really quite understand where we knew. And then we had to push a while. Like, we had to push a little bit because we've learned a lot. So throughout the process, I was explaining to you guys everything from movement to angles to simplification to what happens. And we essentially did that for about 200 lessons. It's been quite the enjoyable sketchbook to do. And it's just absolutely lovely knowing that it's complete. Here, let me get a better angle because I think you guys can get a better benefit of just seeing the actual pages. Boom. Oh, there you go. All right. So we spent, every single one of these was a lesson. Every single one of these was a lesson taught to you guys, explained to you guys. And I am so happy to finally be able to say that I'm done with this sketchbook. Not because it was a pain in the ass. Every single one of these pages was an absolute delight to learn. And I learned something new in every single one of them. So it's just nice to have that accomplishment under your belt again. And it's every time that you finish a sketchbook, it's a great feeling inside of your brain, right? It's a feeling of accomplishment. It's a feeling that maybe you improved a little bit. And hopefully by the end of it, if you studied it and used it as a learning tool, You will be much, much better by the time that you finish. And that involves doing exercises that are boring sometimes, doing exercises that are repetitive sometimes, doing exercises that look messy sometimes, and having yourself be happy with how that is coming about. The whole aspect of studying and taking the time to learn is something that is invaluable to us as artists. If we don't take the time to study, to learn, you're never going to be able to get to the end result that you want to get to. Okay? So, in essence, don't see your sketchbook as something that has to be meticulously perfect. See it as something meticulously perfect for learning. Because this is essentially the best tool that you have at your disposal. And anything you put on here is in your brain. Anything that you put into a sketchbook, this is my brain. This is how my brain looks. This is how my brain interprets images. This is how it prints out stuff. Okay? This is my style, my guides, whatever. But this is literally how my brain looks inside. And that's why it's so chaotic, and that's why it's sometimes hard to focus. Because it's just literally a chaotic mess of ideas that jump around and like generate a ton of different things, but nothing is like solid in stone. That's what your sketchbook should be. It's an exploration of your brain. Seeing how far you can push it, how well does your mind and your hand, like have coordination between each other. How do you find where to get better at is through sketching. Through sketching, through drawing, through exploring, through pushing the limits of what you can already do. That is what you normally do to get better. And it should be a struggle. If it's too easy, then it's boring. If it's too easy, like easy stuff makes compliant artists. Easy techniques, easy methods make people lazy artists. And if you constantly just go and you do the bare basics of everything from perspective to detail to shadows, if you always do the bare basics, you're never going to get better. You're never going to get better. You have to push. You have to push beyond the grasp of the concepts that you're normally bound to. And seek the knowledge from people that have been there before. That's why people that are mentors, people that are apprentices, people that actually take the time to seek out knowledge tend to improve at a drastic pace. Because the will is 90% of it. And then having a good teacher is the rest 10. So we're going to start a new sketchbook today. And we have a fantastic idea in mind for the theme of it. It's going to be a lot of character development. And I'm going to focus a lot on character design. And I'm going to explain a lot about how to make things look cool now. Now that we have established the whole parameters of how to build a foundation from scratch. Look at the drawings. They're so nice and tight now. By the end of the sketchbook, it's so pretty. Everything starts getting cleaner. Everything starts getting so much cleaner because my brain starts being so much more organized with its thoughts. So you can literally see it through the sketchbook. It starts getting progressively cleaner and cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And then eventually it's getting to the point where it's almost finished drawings in every single one of them. You could just go in and sketch anything over this and you could make anything, which makes it a wonderful mannequin. And everything just starts getting a little bit more solidified. Less bad sketches, right? Even when we're conceptualizing things. like a little bunny jumping, or like a little bunny using a dragon as an armchair, or a Super Saiyan platypus. It's fun once you unlock that version of yourself that is able to use your own creative imagination and like thoughts to be able to portray an image or a concept. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of really fun things. And again, it's just helping solidify the concepts of anatomy inside so that we don't have to guess anymore. And that's been super cool. Super, super cool. We got a little taste of colored paper. All right, if you guys are going to stick for the lesson, though, I need you guys to do me a favor. I need you guys to like the stream because we only have like 3,000 likes, and that is making me feel like my sketchbook sucks. So if you guys want to help me raise my self-esteem, hit that little heart button. All right, we're about to be finished with this. Oh, we did Disney movies one night. And we come to the last couple pages. This is what we did yesterday and the day before. We worked on just a recap of what we learned in these sketchbooks. We finished with a little yoga pose and some extra brown construction paper stuff for the end pages because I wanted to finish it strong. Boom. It is done. Completed. Finito. Fudge. Yes. All right. Now we have our new sketchbook. Boom. Normally this moment it marks the moment that I absolutely hate and at the same time absolutely love. I love finishing a sketchbook. Finishing a sketchbook is one of the most beautiful things that you can possibly do, right? As an artist, being able to know that you put a whole book of ideas together and now it's completed, done. Now comes the arduous task of doing the very first drawing on a brand new sketchbook. Favorite sketchbooks ever, okay? These are my favorite sketchbooks by far. It's just, they're well constructed. They don't bleed. They don't have perforated edges. They work really well with the stuff that I use, which is watercolors and ballpoint pen. It doesn't bleed through. And I'm not technically sponsored by them, but I still like promoting them because I like them. I really like them. All right, so we're gonna tape this in here. Where's my tape? We always are going to start from now on with a semblance of affection towards ourselves inside of our sketchbooks. Why? Because I'm learning to do what people refer to as self-care, self-love. And I don't really know what that is, right? I've never really understood what that is. So I need to reassure myself in little tiny ways that what I'm doing is something positive. Because otherwise my brain is a motherfucker and it tells me, no, you're not. You suck. You're horrible. You're wasting your time. So little tiny acts of kindness to myself in the form of just little hearts, a little drawing of myself saying, go get him, or something like that, is so valuable to me. And that's why I draw myself all the time, by the way. I draw myself a lot because I need my own reassurance. And I don't really ever believe that anybody else has my best interest at heart except for me. Because to this day, people have shown me otherwise. So it's just weird. As an introvert and a person that has social anxiety and stuff like that, I really don't really get out of my house much, and much less go outside enough to trust anyone. But I'm trying. I'm learning. No. See, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for reassurance from you guys. I don't really. No, that's not it. No. What I say that for is because you got to understand that you'll never be as important as you like. What you do will never be as important to anyone else as it is to you. Like nothing in your brain will ever be as important to someone else as it is to you. And that is something that is a wholehearted truth. It is something that you can't really deny or disprove or, even question. Throughout your life, you will have people that like what you do. They will help you and support you, but nobody will really quite understand how important it is to get that thing in your brain out. It's just not something that can be quantifiable. It's super hard because you can say you love something, but this goes beyond love. Like it's love and almost an obsession, to me at least. Right? I don't just love drawing art. If I don't do art, it's an addiction. It's like once you learn how to create from your brain, it's an addiction because it literally makes you be able to create beautiful things. It makes you have the ability to turn a blank piece of paper into something with an emotion, something that looks alive, something that looks like it's coming forth and telling you something. If you have the ability to storytell through images, you're like a bard, but your like ability is to do it through making characters alive. And it's just a beautiful thing. And people lose themselves into that. People cherish and worship and they wish that they could do this. People have always cherished artists ever since they started doing this. And everybody normally tends to want to be in some sort of artistic thing at some point of their life, be it dance or painting or sculpting or carpentry or architecture or something. There's always something artistic that people crave. You want to be an actor? That's art. You want to be a dancer? That's art. You want to bake? That's art. It's ingrained in so many different things in our lives that we often just take it for granted, right? But a lot of the more popular ones are things like animation and, character designs and comics because it brings the characters to life better. You can actually feel them. You can feel like you're part of that, world whenever you look at a really good animation. Like the Avatar movies, right? Oh my God. The Avatar, The Last Airbender, not the movies fucking suck. But the actual show, it brings you into a world that doesn't exist. It's never existed. It's never been there. Yet you feel so enticed to feel emotions for the characters, and you feel oh my God, their troubles are your troubles. You feel anxiety sometimes whenever you watch a show because you feel like the people in the show are going through shit that you know sucks. If you manage to feel those emotions from a TV show, then that TV show and those artists created life. How cool is that? How absolutely insane is that? You literally can create a life, you can create entire worlds. You are not subjected to just what is in this plane of reality. Which is an amazing trait to have. So don't ever put yourself down, and show yourself a little bit of self-love, because you are an epic human being. You have a superpower, even if it's not refined to the level where you want. The Flash didn't get to be the world's fastest speedster in a single day. He probably fell down a couple times. Okay? You take your time, but you got to push forward. Take your time, be patient, but push forth every time. Don't get comfy. Do you ever critique? Very rarely. I very rarely critique people, mostly because most people can't take real critique. And that's not me trying to be mean to people or anything. Just most people don't want to critique. Most people want to be validated that they're doing something right. Most people that get a portfolio review, they don't want to know exactly what's wrong with their art. They want to be told that what they're doing is good enough. When you tell them otherwise, they get upset. When you tell them otherwise, and they've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years, and you're like, hey man, you got to go back to like some basic foundational stuff, dude. Like your anatomy is kind of wonky. And you've been doing this for 20 years? Maybe it's time for you to take some perspective classes. Oh no, I've taken perspective classes 30 years ago, and I don't want to do that again. It's boring. Okay, well then stay doing the same shit you're doing. Cool. It really ends up being like that 99% of the time. 99% of the time that I talk with people and they want critiques, that is what comes up from it. I tell them what they need to do, and they tell me how they don't need to do that because they've been doing it for so long. Which proceeds to me going, then why are you asking me for advice? And then it just ends the conversation because clearly they don't want to put the work in because it's boring to them to actually go back. So it just ends up not being something pleasant for me or for them. So I stopped doing critiques of people a while ago because of that. No, it didn't just happen once. It happened multiple times. It didn't just happen once. This has been an occurrence that happens consistently throughout the whole process of being a teacher. This is just something that happens. Whenever people want advice, they don't want advice, and that's fine. I don't mind not giving the advice. I like catering to whatever people want. But at the same time, don't ask for an honest critique if you can't take an honest critique. Or if you don't want the critique. That's perfectly fine to just want to ask if you're good enough or validated enough. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to necessarily ask for oh my God, what am I doing wrong? You can ask to see, hey, am I good enough? And then you can just be told that. Let's see, it's going to be fun. Just going to draw random stuff inside of these guys. Every single one of those lines is going to be something different. This is what I call abstract drawing. And whereas you start the basic shapes, and then you're going to have to fit everything in between. It'll lead to a nice little collage. I used to do this in my sketchbooks all the time. But I didn't used to do it like this. I used to do it with just adding things and adding things. This is a little harder because you have to make sure that you find the thing for every single one of these shapes. Let's draw some more stuff. There you go. Making it look like it's coming out of my brain is going to be kind of cool. Dope. All right, so we have some basic shapes. So let's talk a little bit about sketchbook etiquette while we sketch a bunch of random crap coming out of my head. Deal? Draw my eyebrows. So Similar to the splotch effect where you draw something. Yeah, kinda. It's actually very similar to that. Pretty much this. It's abstract drawing, yeah. So you allow your brain to fill in the spacing. So what you do is that you start looking at these shapes and you're gonna realize really quickly how wide or how narrow your mental library is by what you can actually draw amongst these shapes. I'm gonna give you a quick example on another little piece of paper if I can find one. Let's see, where's the little piece of paper? I can use the back of the Post-it. There you go. All right, so if I drew a circle, a lot of people wouldn't know what to do with this. Maybe like, oh, well, it's a circle, so maybe like a planet, you know, and maybe a moon, maybe a ball, right? You know what I see when I see that? Since I have more knowledge, I see spheres, so I see faces looking in different directions. I see a rib cage. The rib cage can be elongated a little bit, and now I have a rib cage in space. If I add a different circle, I have myself a body. If I add long circles, I have legs. If I make them crossing each other, I have depth. If I make them smaller, I have foreshortening. If I make it bigger, I can make things coming into the foreground. That's what I see when I see a circle. If all you see is that, that's perfectly fine too, but just know that this is 20 years of experience. Me being able to see this and not just determine a guideline, but accurately be able to map that guideline throughout the entirety of the shape, backwards or forwards, is very, very good. Learning how to use a circle to create depth is very simple because it divides something in half. You can map out front and back areas like your ear, and then do it for the front and the back to find your nose and your chin. So if you do both of them, you have the ability to draw the jaw. If you learn how to draw through your shapes, you can draw things like poses not looking up, not looking straight down. All those things come from understanding just basic perspective. So that is what you have to keep in mind whenever you're actually drawing. When you see a circle, you see something very different than what I see. What I see is just a massive amount of guidelines and stuff like that within it that just make it really easy for me to draw things. We're gonna leave this towards the end. Let's start finding shapes. Do we wanna draw like animals? Do you wanna draw things like, okay, for example, this one's gonna be an easy one. This one just looks like a bird. But if we just draw a little boring bird, it's kind of boring. So let's add a little bit of texture, a little bit of detail to make it look a little bit more like a bird that would be rare or exotic. A little bit of detail to the beak to make it look like it's actually hard texture as opposed to a soft texture, adding a little bit of contrast in between the elements. Even if they're the same color, adding a little crosshatch in between can make that element pop out a tiny bit more. Not just a tiny bit, but a ridiculous amount more. Little baby overlapping shadows like this can distinguish the difference between the top of your beak and the bottom of your beak. And let's see, what type of eye should we give them? Should we make them all derpy? Or more like... give them some eyebrow ridge if I want to make them humanized. And ta-da! I have myself a really quick little birdie. All right, so now let's go on to the next one. Let's see, what should this one be? You know, this is going to sound weird, but this one kind of looks like a dolphin to me. There you go. A dolphin that's bending up. There you go. That's a toucan. Oh, I guess we can make him a toucan. We're going to add a little bit of dark space so that the dolphin stands out. Cool. All right. So now let's go on to the next one. Let's see. What should this one be? I'll let you guys choose. I'll let you guys choose what the next thing is. We'll fit whatever you guys say into these things. I want to be an artist, but I'm slowly giving up. I don't know what to tell you. Even through the toughest times, I've never thought even once about giving up. Even through the toughest situations in my life, I've never even thought about. That's the one thing that is literally a constant in my life. Art. It's the one thing that brings me happiness outside of everything else being shit. I don't know what to tell you if you are feeling like you're not happy with it, because I don't know if I've ever experienced that. And I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not trying to like shit you. Like, I just don't feel sadness when I draw. That's why I do it so much. A cat. Okay. A cat. We got to find the cat. So let's see. How do we draw a cat in here? A kitty, kitty, cat, cat. I think I found the cat. It's going to be the cat right here. Because it looks like he's pawing over here. And what type of face should we give him? Should he be an evil cat? He is not a happy cat. No belly. There you go. A shark. Okay, let's fit a shark in there. I think we fit a dolphin, so we can fit a shark. Let's see, where can we find the shark in here? Sharky shark, sharky shark. Where are you? I can make you fit into anything, but I'd rather have a shape that kind of looks like a sharky. Let's see, what kind of shark though? Is it gonna be like a hammerhead? Is it gonna be like a great white? I think we have it here. Yep, that's it. Sharks have an interesting mouth. Sharks' mouths are in the bottom of their face. They're not in the front, they're in the bottom. So when you're drawing them, you have to make sure High five. Fish are friends, not food. All right, so let's see. That's the next one. What should be the next one? That was pretty simple. The cat needs whiskers. Oh, that's right. There you go. A crocodile. Okay, so crocodiles, I've always liked crocodiles because they fit into areas like this. Like anything that has like a long area is always going to fit a crocodile really easy. Or a dragon too. Anything that's long gives you a perfect like ratio for a crocodile. A long snout, a long area for a mouth. Draw some teeth up, some teeth down. That means that my jaw structure and my head is right here. My nostrils. I can add a little bit of texture underneath to break it up. And then I'm gonna give him a nice little body. Going into his little tail. And then all his body parts are gonna be all squished right here in the corner. Cool. And then let's give him some sunglasses because he's cool. Yeah, I like that. Nice. A cow next to a bird. A cow, huh? I don't really know what a cow looks like. I don't think I've drawn a lot of farm animals in my life, so I'm not gonna draw a cow. I'm not gonna draw a cow because I don't want my first page in my sketchbook to have something I don't know how to draw. So no, we're not gonna draw a cow. Oddly enough, I do know how to draw an armadillo. Oddly enough, I know how to draw an armadillo, but I don't know how to draw a damn cow. How weird is that? I know how to draw a perfect armadillo, but I can't draw a darn cow. It's so silly. Armadillos have like super cool like, bodies. I think that doesn't really quite look exactly like an armadillo. Kind of looks like a chinchilla slash like prairie thingy, monster, whatever. Screw it. We're going to give it a third eye. Now he's a monster. Little horns and stuff. Creatures from my spirit world. Do a guinea pig. Aren't guinea pigs just like a little thing? Like aren't guinea pigs just like little potatoes? And then they just have markings. Isn't that what a guinea pig is? A red panda. Oh, okay. Red pandas are fun because they fit into anything. We could have just drawn red pandas throughout the whole thing, honestly. Let's see, have an ear. If we have space for an ear, we have space for a red panda. Red pandas are so cute. Aren't they markings? Go. Totally forgot. Yeah, red pandas are super cute. Could you try a swan? Yeah, a swan would be fun. I always mess up swans and geese. So let's see if I don't mess it up this time. So which one's the one with the black? I said black neck or white neck. I always forget. But one of them has. I know one of them has like a more elegant neck. It's like super curvy. But I don't remember which one it is. Mustache. Mustache should be right here with me, though. Mustache should be down here with me. So let's draw Mustache down here. Mustache could be right here. Okay. Mustache is my puppy. If you guys don't know who Mustache is, he's my little, who's supposed to be a mini schnauzer, but he is clearly not a mini schnauzer. He is way bigger than a mini schnauzer should be at this point. But it's cool. He's my little boy. You guys hear him in the background sometimes. He's going to have something over him. Actually, no. We're going to have him have a spotlight. We're going to take over some of this space. His little ears going up. And then I'm going to give him a nice big forehead. He's a little baby. And his little features are going to be right here. And we'll draw a little bone on him. Little slobber on it, of course, because of course, little drip. That's my baby boy. A bear. Bears are easy. Bears are ridiculously easy. One of the easiest animals to draw is a bear. You literally just draw a triangle. Okay. Then at the top of the triangle, you add 2 ears. And then you draw 2 little triangles for the width of the face. Now you have the basic semblance of a bear. The arms, little for the feet, and little for the arms. Give yourself a little bit of a belly and whatever styled eyes you want. And you have yourself a really simple bear. An orca, that was a cute one. I like orcas because I worked at SeaWorld for a while. Let's see, where can we find an orca space? It's this one right here. So whale tails are weird. They're like sideways instead of up and down, like a shark. We'll draw somebody on top of him. So I'll draw myself on top of this whale, doing like, I don't know, it seems like he's looking over like a pirate. Like with a telescope or like a pirate. Like with a telescope. Give him a backwards hat. A t-shirt. Some pants. A nose. And he is just me. And my orca is just gonna be chilling there. That's kind of like how I like drawing my stuff. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure he was trying to find the space. He said maybe guided by red lines. No. Oh, yeah, the guiding of the red lines is just random shapes that we drew. And the random shapes are guiding the rest of the drawings. All right, so what's the next one? A tarantula. Well, tarantulas are easy too. Mostly because they're all furry and they're just like a big mass for the most part. So if you have a big hairy mass, give it a head and give it a bunch of eyes on one side, a bunch of eyes on the other. And then you have 8 arms for arachnids, 8 arms. So whatever pattern you want, there's tarantulas in a lot of different ways, right? Just add really fuzzy arms in the form of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you can do that. I forget how their actual faces are. I don't know if I have like little mandibles or not, but I totally forget that. But 1, 2, fuzzy. 1, 2, fuzzy. You can darken the tips to make it look like you have a little bit more detail and texture. Add a little bit of a shadow so you can make it look like it's actually on the floor. But that's how I would approach it. Fangs? Well, fangs are just part of your teeth, right? So if you have your mouth, let's draw a mouth like that. We're looking at a mouth from the bottom. Fangs are just sharp teeth that come out of your jaw. So whenever you're drawing something with like nostrils and stuff, you need to remember that the fangs are part of just your teeth structure. So if you had like your human teeth, right? Your teeth would go around, a fang would be right here. So your fang would stick out Right there. It's not your middle teeth. And it's not the ones next to it, but it's the third ones. So if you have a mouth, it's not your middle teeth. It's not the first two. It's not the one next to it. It's the one after that. So it's your third tooth. If you're a vampire or something, it's a third tooth to the left or to the right. And that's your canine. Yeah, that's right. Maybe you can turn the teeth on the page into an opossum? What does that look like? I don't know if it looks like an opossum. It kind of looks like a ferret to me. Right? Kind of looks like a ferret. I hate ferrets. Ferrets are so gross. Ferrets are some of the nastiest animals there is. Like they're just so disgusting. He drew my dead bunny yesterday. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you need me to draw him again? Would it help if I draw him again? I can draw your dead bunny again. I don't mind. That was actually kind of funny. Like the bunny itself. I'm so sorry your bunny died, but it like generated a little bit of an inspiration. And it led to a dark side of something. I'm so sorry your bunny inspired gruesome stuff. A bearded dragon. Oh man, what is that? I kind of really remember. I think I remember what they look like. Hold on. I know they're wide. And they have a really wide mouth. Right? But that looks like a gecko. That looks more like a gecko or a frog. I'm gonna do more research on these guys. Yeah, this kind of looks like a mean axolotl now. It kind of looks like he would just like be all buff too. It's like, what you doing? You talking to my girl? Are you talking to my girl? A moose. A moose. Okay, moosies. Let's see if I remember how to draw a moose. Moose are so big. Moose are gigantic, by the way. Like, moose are just like one of the biggest things that live on the planet right now. if you ever get a chance to actually see one, you'll be like, whoa. Whoa. Yeah, some bushes and stuff. At a house just for detail and perspective. Maybe a tree. All right, Daddy Axolotl, move out of the way. Moose is one of the top tallest animals. Good to know. Good to know. That shit's like they're nuts, dude. Let's see. What do we want to draw coming out of my head, though? Out of my head, obviously, there's going to be things like anatomy and maybe a hand reaching over because of hands. And you also have to make it look like it's exploding. A monkey. Nah, I don't like monkeys. I don't like monkeys. I know how to draw them really easy. I just don't like them. I don't know why. Monkeys have never been one of my top animals to draw. They're fun and everything, but I don't know. It's just not something that I like drawing. It's not something that I spend my time focusing on. A goat? I already drew a goat. I drew the goat. A giraffe unicorn. Okay, we can draw a unicorn right here. So let's draw the nose of the horse into the forehead of the horse, into the horn, into the nostril, into whatever fringe it would have, into the backwards ear. You wouldn't see the other ear because the little kitty is covering it, but maybe he's going around the kitty. Right. Then we have our mouth, we have our neck, and we gotta have a smug look to him. Like, look at me, I'm a beautiful unicorn. Little smugness to him. And then we got to draw something coming here to incorporate to in the middle of this. So this has to be something. This will be, what is that going to be? Kind of just looks like a wavy thingy. I'm just going to do like a little perspective lines and make it look cool. There you go. Doesn't always have to be a something. It's all coming from my brain, and I teach you guys perspective, anatomy, and stuff like that as well. So I'm perfectly okay with that. A snail. Let's draw a snail right here. Good afternoon. How are you doing? We are filling in a bunch of random spacing in our sketchbook. Draw a raccoon. Okay. A raccoon has a little pear body. And they have a little tail that's striped. They also have little ears, and they have a wider face than they do a narrower one. They have big birthing hip leggies, and they have little tiny arms. The nose is more like a cone, and they have a mask. So this is roughly how you would draw a raccoon. Which one? Baby Yoda? I already drew a ferret. I don't like ferrets. A dragon would be a good one. Where can we draw a dragon? Have a bunch of weird spacing right here because of the tarantula and me bending over. So what can we draw here? It's gonna be closed off there. Let's see, what can we draw here? We want to leave a little bit of negative space underneath me because I don't want to fill that up. This could be the dragon. Definitely could be the dragon. Into a rib cage, into the wings, into the thighs, into my rib cage, into whatever type of arms I decide to give it. And from there, we can go on to our tail, which is already established right here. So that was a pretty easy dragon. A lizard. Well, isn't a dragon a big lizard? A dinosaur? Okay, we'll draw a dinosaur over here. Let's draw a little T-Rex or something. He's happy. Oh wait, no, hold on. It's gonna be a good day. No, Mr. Dino, I don't think it's gonna be a very good day for you. Do a fox. Nah. I already did one you asked for. I'm not going to, if I see that you guys are asking over and over and over and over, and I already did one that you guys you guys asked for, I'm not gonna do it again. So stop being that kid. You know what I'm talking about too. Like, you guys know perfectly well who you are and what you're doing. Stop being that person, please. All right, so let's see what we have here. We have a little space right here. So what could that be? What does that look like? I can always draw a face in there, but I don't want to draw just a random crap in there. Can I make that into something? I can make that into a dinosaur too. Huh. Dinosaurs are cool because they fit into a lot of things. And since they're like imaginary, right? So you can just always change a little bit of what it's supposed to be. There you go. A penguin. You can draw a little penguin right here. Hold on. A giraffe. Let's see, where can we fit a giraffe? I can fit a giraffe right here, I guess. Since it has a little like hole right here, I can use that for the little. Add some markings. Give them some color. They have a little horn right here, and they have a little protuberance. They have a little bit of a coloration, and they have that. So that's a very simplified giraffe. Can you do a sea otter? I can try. So sea otters, I believe they're nice and wide, but I don't know where their ears are. And they float on their bellies, and they eat clams all day. And they swim on their bellies. So this is where you're going to lose me probably, because I don't really know where their markings go. Or their eyes. I think they go on their sides. And we killed a pen! We are the champions, my friends. Oh, and we'll be journeying to the end. Take it to the graveyard. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. All right, take it to the graveyard. Stop making so dramatics, Milky. All right. Okay, bring us another one. Come on, Lucky. Here you go. All right. Thank you, Milky. You're welcome. Oh, Milky's such a good employee sometimes. Now, do you have their ears? I think they have their ears right here. I think so. And, oh God, I don't remember if they have like little, I think that makes them look like a bear. So I don't think they have that. There you go. The closest thing to a sea otter that I possibly think I can do. Can you draw a wolf? Do I want to draw a wolf? I like wolves. This one's going to be an elephant, of course. This one needs to be an elephant. And I don't know why I'm drawing so many animals. It's not necessarily supposed to be like an animal book. But I'm finding it quite fun to recall all my knowledge from the zoo. Did you guys know that the San Diego Zoo still has demos with my artwork on it from like 10 years ago? They still have artwork on display for their caricature stuff that is my stuff. And I find that hilarious. I find that incredibly funny. I find that incredibly silly because they have a lot of good artists. They should be representing the people that they have now, not the people that broke their sales records. Oh, yeah, I did that. like within like the first week of being with them, I broke their sales records for the park. I tried my hardest to break it for the company, but they wouldn't give me enough time. Like they wouldn't allow me to take like an extra long shift, even though that's like what they did to break the sales record in the first place in Texas. But they refused to give me the same opportunities because they knew I would destroy them. I would destroy. A crab. Crab people, crab people. I can draw a crab. There you go. A hippo. I love hippos. Hippos are one of my favorite animals, especially pygmy hippos. Pygmy hippos are by far one of the cutest variations of hippos that you guys can find. And they're so cute. And they're so deadly. And we'll draw a little bird on top of them. When is the stream ending? When I finish the sketchbook page. Once I finish the page, I normally end the stream. So this is our very first page for our very new sketchbook. We just finished and we did a little sketchbook tour of the other one. So this is just us getting through the first page so that we can set a precedent for the rest of the sketchbook. A red panda, it's already there. A snake. Snakes are too easy. I don't like to use snakes because you can wrap snakes around anything. But since we have a little bit of space here, I can totally draw one for you. So normally I don't draw them because they're just too easy of a shape to fit into anything, right? Like it's just a little noodle. So since you can fit them anywhere, it's too easy. We already did an orca. We already did a shark. You already did an alligator. We're not doing a cow because I don't know what a cow looks like. Okay, my representation of a cow. And I know that looks wrong. That is not a moo cow. No, that doesn't look like a cow. No, a deer. A deer, a deer, a deer, a deer. Okay, I remember what deers look like. Okay, hold on. So deers have really big eyes, a really big forehead into a really wide nose. Then their heads sprout up, and then they have their horns that sprout up and they go inwards. But they also have their ears. And I forget their ears are behind or in front of their antlers, but I think it's in front of their antlers. Kind of makes a difference though. The other horns would come out from here, come out this way. And then they have pretty big brow ridges. And they have like the eyes of a demon's. They just like, they have like the dark bunny eyes. You know? I hate bunny eyes. Like rabbit eyes are so creepy. A bee? Bees are easy. These are just little circles. Little circle, add 2 stripies, add some wingies. So a bee can be as easy as that, or you can just literally make little dots. Like bees don't have to be very hard. You can make bumblebees by making them fat. We already did an armadillo. Didn't come out much like an armadillo, but it was an armadillo nonetheless. A dodo bird. Dodo birds are the ones that have like the really big noses, right? It's like, no, I don't think that's what a dodo bird looks like. That looks more like a parakeet. Yeah, I like this one too, though. A porcupine. Porcupine. I'm like really tripping. Is the antler in front of the ear? I think so. I think that's why it's wrong. I think that looks weird because of that. I think the antler goes in front of the ear. Or to the side? I don't know. That's weird. I'll have to figure it out. Let's see. More texture to the elephant, so it looks a little cooler. A little bit of lines can add a lot of detail. As long as you know which direction you draw your lines in, you can add a lot of cool detail really quickly through little volume lines like this. Okay, let's give him a hoodie. And he's gonna be doing something here. He's gonna have his arm. And he's gonna be on his phone. Let's make him on his phone. And short sleeve hoodie. Because he likes to show off his tattoos. Rod is cool. And maybe like some designs around. And he uses black nail polish because he goes to emo night. And he has piercings now. And let's see what else. Oh, it's black. It has to be black because, you know, he's emo. So he has to have a black hoodie. And the hoodie would probably reach all the way up here. We already did a hippo. We haven't done a squid yet. Squid is easy because the squids can fit into pretty much anything. Because of the tentacles. So you can draw them into anything you want. Squids are fun though. Because they're like birds underneath the water. But like an octopus at the same time. It's kind of weird. Biker mice from Mars. Now, I don't remember what they are. Milky. Yeah, we can draw Milky. Milky has turned into an evil villain, though. What'd you say about me? Huh? Huh, punk? Don't make me grab the highlighter. Fuck. Yeah, that's what... Don't mess with Milky. I'm spoiled milk. Oh, Milky. Milky, you'll always be my little companion. You're not spoiled milk. Let's see, what else can we draw here? What else? So we have mustache, we have dinosaurs, we have an emo elephant, we have deer, a lion, or a tiger. I guess we could draw like... I saw some really funny tigers. I went with a friend to this thing that was like an art exhibit. And they had like these really wonky looking tigers, like from like South Korea or something like that. And it was like these ridiculously drawn like illustrations of like kind of tigers, but it was like super weird and abstract, kind of like they do like traditional American art. But it was just weird to see it done with things like tigers and dragons and stuff. That was just really funny. Tigers have black ears, and they have a lot of stripies towards their forehead. They have some stripies coming down into their nose, and they have a really wide nose. They have their muzzles that's really wide and really furry, and their foreheads are really massive. From there, you have a bunch of striping that goes around. And the way that the coloring works is you leave a little bit of spacing right here in white where the eyebrows would go and where the cheekbones would go, and you fill in the rest with whatever orange or whatever color you choose. And that's how you would go with the color striping for a tiger. Now this is really derpy. You don't have to draw them as derpy, but I like drawing derpy animals. A grave for the pen that died. Okay. Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace, Bick. A rat? I hate rats so much, but they're so fun to draw. Rats are one of the most disgusting animals, and no one will ever be able to tell me otherwise. Rats are just vile little tiny like menaces of grossness and ickness. And they are so darn creepy. Like, rats are so gross. So disgusting. Like, I almost broke up with a girlfriend because she had a rat as a pet. I said almost. I didn't do it, but I almost did because they are ich. They can chew through your bones. Okay? Let's put it like that. You fall asleep, you take like your eyes off of them for a second, they're gonna chew through your tongue or your nose or your eyes. No. Gross. Nah. Ain't doing that. Ain't doing that today. We just ended up with 2 bleed marks right here, so we're gonna make that into vampire bites. And we gotta draw vampire now. So let's draw vampire over here. And he's gonna be super disappointed that he grabbed a rat. Ugh. What is this? This is not human blood. Do you have to what? Do you have to have a Facebook community where people share their inspirations from you? I do not. I'm very. I use social media mostly because I need to, because that's where my living comes from. But I subject myself to very limited amounts of social media outside of Instagram and TikTok. It's too much. It's too much. Honestly, everybody wants a piece of you at some point, and it fucking drains me. Right? Like the reason that I don't have a Discord is because I literally had one for my subscribers, and then I was like overwhelmed very quickly, very quickly, with the concept of having people have access to me 24/7. That was incredibly overwhelming, and I just stopped. Like, I didn't even give people warnings. I was just like, oh, nope, now I'm out. Fight or flight, man. Like, and unfortunately, I wish that I was more social. I wish that I was more friendly. I wish that I had the ability to be like more connected to my community. But being around people really is difficult for me. Having people have access to me 24/7 is so incredibly daunting to me that it just makes it super, like, it doesn't make it appealing. They are great. So whenever I'm actually like looking forward to stuff like that, I require the help of a lot of people. And that means like I need them to carry that section of the job for me. And since I don't want to make anybody in charge of that, because it's not, it's my crap, right? Like, it should be something that I deal with. It's not, I don't like relying on other people, even if they want to, even if they do want to do free labor. I don't like doing that, mostly because it's just something that I feel obligated that I now have to be like taking care of and supervising. And again, a lot of the times things get really overwhelming for me, right? Like, it's been really hard for me the last year because between coming in and out of depression, being lonely, feeling sad, feeling like you're depressed all the time, feeling like you're a fucking failure, stuff like that gets you really in a bad spot mentally. And unfortunately, I suffer from that a lot more than the average person. So I have to maintain myself in certain mindsets, and that means keeping myself away from mentalities and state of minds that come with negativity, and that's literally all social media is. A hydra. Well, you didn't really specify what type of hydra, so we're going to do a human hydra. Rah. Social media is such a toxic place. It is. It's an incredibly toxic place. It's an incredibly like. I don't like doing social media if I can help it, but unfortunately, it's my job. You know, being able to communicate and talk to you guys is my job. That is part of what I signed up for, and that is something that I'm perfectly okay with because I signed up for it. But at the same time, I limit myself a lot to the availability that I give other people because everybody will want. You give someone an inch, they take a mile. And I don't know how to say no. So when people want to be, part of that, I normally don't know how to say no because I'm just a nice person. And to protect myself, I limit my availability a lot because it's just my nature. Like I will give you guys until I'm starving. And so I have to do it out of self-preservation. Can you draw flamingo? Yeah, we can draw flamingo. Flamingos are fun. Flamingos have like this super curvy, like beak. And then they have a really, really flowy neck that curves back up into a little tiny body. And then they have their tails or their feet that go down into whatever pond, and they hide their other one underneath them. That's more so what a flamingo is. Did I draw a fox already? I don't think I drew a fox. Let's draw a fox. Since you are insisting so much, my dear. A fox has a really long nose, really big ears, and really fluffy sides. The aspects that make them look like a fox are going to be how you render out the details. Right? If you make them really, really big, they're going to look like a wolf. If you make them slender, and you get the right markings, it ends up looking more like a wolf, like a fox. Maybe this would be a little bit smaller, honestly. I think it's like right here for a fox. Not so quite over here. And we can make this into little details for the flamingo. If I could give him some greenery. Make a little sun. There you go, make a push. There you go, cool. That works. How about a barn owl? I don't really know what a barn owl looks like. But we have a little bit of space left here, so let's try. I have a feeling barn owls are like this. And they have like really big eyes. And then I have a feeling that they have their hornies going this way. And then they have most of their features right here. So I have a feeling it's something like that. That's basically it. Yeah. All right, everybody. Today was a fun stream. Today was an incredibly fun stream. And one that I've been wanting to do for a while because I wanted to finish the other sketchbook very, very, very badly. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Thank you for walking through my other sketchbook with me, and also, like starting this one with me. That's going to be a fun sketchbook to work on. I can already tell that it's going to be super, super fun. And we're going to do a lot of storytelling within this one. So I'm going to start applying the concepts that I've learned over the years to my own stories. And I'm going to explain to you guys how I approach it from those methods in every step of the way, just like I have with every other sketchbook that we've done. With this, it completes about like the 7th or 8th sketchbook that we've done together. So that's actually really, really cool. We've done a ton of sketchbooks now. Okay. We've improved a lot. Like, I don't really know how to like explain to you guys how much better we are now than when we started. It's been an insane amount of progress, and it's all due to the fact that you guys ask the right questions, you guys want to learn, and that helps me get better because I have to teach you guys how to do that. So, with that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much for being my drawing buddies. You guys are an absolute delight to have. Hope you guys enjoy your Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. So I hope you guys enjoy your Thursdays. Be productive, be safe, be happy, be joyful, and make sure to make someone's life a little bit easier today if you can. Okay? That is the RODGON philosophy, the RODGON way. Be happy and make others happy if you can. Okay? Take care, everybody. Love y'all. See you tomorrow for another lesson, or later today if we feel like we're actually up for drawing a little bit more. And maybe we can do like a little watercolor like on this guy. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Then we can put something like that right there. Boom, complete it. Done. Boom. See how easy that is? We're so awesome. Yeah, I don't know what hour we're gonna draw tonight. Probably gonna be in the afternoon, probably around like maybe like 5 or 6 p.m. Standard Pacific time. Like this one more. There you go. Yeah. All right, and then we tie it all in by filling in the spaces in between that are already being taken over by the doodles. And by doing that, we tie it together. It looks like it's the same page, and we are good to go. Woohoo! Unicorn horn. Boom. Awesome. I love doing that. And then we have little spaces as well for little exercises. There you go. Nice. Dope. First page in the bag. Dopeness to the extreme. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe. Be careful. Be good. But not that good because it's boring. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.